nice girl.
Tonight on Q2, truth behind the lies.
People are less likely to learn facts. People are more likely to learn stories.
We take a look back at Trump and Bozeman and the increasing number of lies coming from both parties. But do they matter? Plus, a worse nightmare.
We were actually really looking for some type of wildlife, but now that I hear kind of some of the things going on, I'm maybe glad I didn't see any.
A black bear attacks a sleeping child near Red Lodge. And pool improvements.
If you want to train, Rose Park Pool is probably a better spot for that. It's more of a 50-meter pool. This would be more of a family setting, more of a fun setting.
New plans in the works for Billings' oldest public pool. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. The dust is settling from former President Donald Trump's nearly 90-minute speech Friday night here in Montana. And tonight we're teaming up with PolitiFact to fact-check that address. The nonpartisan website dove into 5 of the former president's claims, including 3 that deal with immigration.
Illegal aliens are stampeding into America by the millions and millions. They're coming from prisons, they're coming from jails.
PolitiFact says federal data isn't complete, but it identifies just over 100,000 non-citizens with criminal convictions arrested by Customs and Border Protection since 2021, and not all of them were let in.
Sure, some migrants who do manage to cross the border do have criminal backgrounds, but that is not the millions and millions.
That's just one of the claims PolitiFact researched. You can find the others right now by checking out this story on our website. We also have a link to recent fact checks on Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Again, all of that is on ktvq.com. Separating fact from fiction isn't always easy during election years, with false claims regularly being made by politicians on both sides of the aisle. Tonight we attempt to get at the truth behind lying in politics. Why does it happen? And is there a strategy behind it? With more on that, here's our Charlie Kleps.
It's no secret that politicians tend to bend the truth, and it happens with candidates on both sides of the aisle. But the question is now, how did we get here? And does it matter?
Nice girl.
It's almost like we've been divided into 2 teams. There's the blue team and the red team.
In a time where America is more divided than ever,
I would say that I align myself with the policies that President Trump put forth.
I probably align more with the Democratic Party.
it might not come as a surprise that voters often listen for what they want to hear.
I gotta like Tim Sheehy a lot to be here. I have to.
Right now, it's all a popularity contest.
But when did that popularity contest begin?
We've really evolved to want to be part of a tribe, because when you're part of a tribe or a group, you're safer.
Dr. Eric Arzubi with Frontier Psychiatry says this behavior is rooted in human nature, with people searching for their sense of belonging.
Nobody wants to be excluded, right? Everybody wants to belong to a team.
And that's why he believes politicians get away with lying as often as they do.
I think all of us are vulnerable to what's called confirmation bias. In other words, we see the world a certain way, we hear information that kind of validates or confirms it. We're like, oh, okay, good, we're good.
Arzubi says voters from both parties are so rooted in their beliefs that they're inclined to ignore or excuse any false facts.
It happens absolutely on both sides, right? Because again, they'd rather be hearing, hey, that was an awesome speech, Trump did a great job, or amazing speech by Kamala Harris.
A frustrating reality for voters around the state.
This divisiveness that we're seeing right now in society is scary to me.
It's so frustrating as an American voter. I believe no matter what side you're on.
Anxiousness and uncertainty, the only real guarantee every 4 years.
It's really hard as an American, if you're paying attention, to know what's true and what's not.
We don't need these people bashing each other. We need what's best for the American economy and what's best for the American people.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Well, this weekend was a very busy one for Bozeman, not only with the Trump rally, but other counter events across the city. That meant a large police presence was required to ensure these events were safe. Bozeman Police Deputy Chief Andy Knight says the department spread their resources all throughout town, and as you can guess, that definitely cost some money.
In those events, it costs some money. We have an overtime budget I mean, overtime budget itself is necessary for these unplanned events or unplanned times, and so that budget exists.
Both the sheriff's office and police departments say it'll take a couple of weeks to figure out the true cost of this past weekend. And it's the same for all of the rallies that Trump held in Montana. In 2018, it's been reported that there is still a tab of $49,000 owed to Billings for one of those visits.